Hey guys, my name is Mark Toscano. I want to go over how American Electric Power, which is AEP, operates. There are a couple different areas. They have North, they have Central, and we're going to kind of dive into how they operate and what to look out for, how to process the bill, how to also understand the bill, and how to make sure that we're setting up our homeowners with the right electric company after the fact. Because last thing we want to do is have a mad customer because we just select the right choice with them. If you're not too familiar with how AEP works, AEP, much like a CenterPoint Energy and Encore in Texas, they're deregulated markets. What deregulated means is that you have the choice to choose which electric provider you want to go with. There's suppliers and their providers. AEP is a supplier of energy. And then you have other companies that come in and buy the energy from them and then offer that to the homeowner. There's probably 100 different supply or providers in Texas. So we got to make sure that one, we're understanding that for the homeowner, and two, we assign them the right company, because there's a lot of companies out there that do not offer solar plans, or if they do offer solar plans, it doesn't really benefit the customer all the way because they're missing something, or they just don't have one for one, or they have a high bill at the end of it. We got to make sure that we fully understand. So that's what we're going to kind of dive into, is one, how to understand a AEP bill, which in this case we're going to use Reliant Energy as one of them, and then understanding the post bill, what the difference it makes on, with the homeowner prior and then after. So let's dive into this thing here. So what we want to do is we want to find the true CPK, which is our cost per kilowatt. So in this case, we want to divide the payment into the usage. So their payment is, and this is in Spanish, but this is one of the last customers we used. So their payment they were paying was $261.99, $262. So what we do is we got to get that payment and then divide that into their kilowatts. So in this case, in this bill, they paid $262 and they use 1,798 kilowatts. So we got to divide that into that fact, and then that's how we get the cost per kilowatt. In deregulated markets, the cost per kilowatt varies almost every month because of the plans they choose. If they're on contracts, it will pretty much stay the same. If their contract has expired, which they usually do 12 months or 24-month contracts, if they're out of contract, that means their cost per kilowatt is going to be a lot higher. So we got to make sure we understand that with the homeowner. So if you see something that's, in Texas, the average cost per kilowatt right now is going to be roughly about 12.5 to 13.5 cents. If you see somebody in 18, 19 cents, you should automatically know you're out of contract. And that's the number one priority. So we want to make sure that we understand it. So when we're plugging in that cost per kilowatt into our proposals, it's going to give them an accurate understanding. We also don't want to make sure that we're quoting them that they're paying 18 cents or they're only paying 12, because then now we're misleading that customer. So it's very crucial that we do this on every single deal, even if it tells you, like in this case, oh, they're paying 9 cents a kilowatt. That's not true cost, because they're not factoring in other fees involved. Like it says gotta go AEP charges, which is the AEP charges really. They're charging an additional $80 just to be connected to the grid. So we got to make sure we understand that. So we get the true cost so that we understand for that customer. Now, to find the annual consumption, this is a big deal for Texas. In all of our deregulated markets, the bills really won't show 12 months of history. They're primarily only going to show the current month, the previous month, and a year back. So that's pretty much where it's going to be at. Sometimes you might be lucky; they might have 3 months behind or 2 months behind, and then you can kind of go off of that. But what I've found out was one of the best ways was to log on to smartmetertexas.com down here below, and you create a residential login with them. It's free; doesn't cost you anything. You're allowed up to three addresses in there. So from the light bill, you gather their ESID number and their meter number, which typically you're going to be your page 2 from your light bill. You put that information in there. You select, hey, I want to see their annual usage from January to December of last year, and it'll pull it up, and it'll pull it to the kilowatt. Add all those up, and now you got your true cost per kilowatt. That's the easiest and best way I've found with AEP, CenterPoint, and Encore. Now that website does not work for monopolized areas and territories. So if you are San Antonio was like CPS, Austin Energy, PEC, Blue Bonnet, Magic Valley in the Valley. Those are monopolized companies, which means that homeowners are not allowed to switch. So those will not show up on Smart Meter Texas. And on all those, they pretty much give you a 12-month usage on that bill. So understand the differences, like I said, between the monopolized one and the deregulated company, which obviously AP is deregulated. But once you plug it in, it plugs into your system. It's really easy to maneuver. Now, obviously, this is a post bill. Then now going solar, pretty substantial difference from paying $260 a month. Now they have negative credits. So this is definitely something that we want to see on every single bill. I always laugh and joke, with these bills, because sometimes you get a guy who's bragging because their homeowner has negative, $1,200 or $1,500 a month, and it's like, yeah, man, you oversold them a system. So you want to kind of keep it as close to $100 as possible, which is we're at 100%. You should be there because, here in Texas, they don't get paid that money back. And if there is a company that offers a payback, it typically goes away before they even pay back the money. They'll tell the customer that, and then they cancel their contracts before they got to pay them out. So it's typically best to stay as close to that 100. But like I said, in this case, still use the same usage, but you could tell, hey, what their negative credit bill, negative $90 difference, or $46. They had a rollover from the previous month. So it was, proofs in the pudding with this one. But some of the things you want to understand, like I said, with AEP, you need to check with your suppliers, AEP, your providers, you need to check with. The ones that I've seen as of right now, obviously right now we are in May 2022. Some of the best ones I've seen right now are going to be Chariot. Rhythm is another one that's pretty good. They have a little bit different fees, but I'm going to break down what to look for, what to ask. Definitely want to be looking at this every single month. Look at what these energy companies are doing, because every single month they are changing. And we got to make sure as a solar professional that we understand that and we adapt to that, because we could be telling a customer to, hey, make sure you go with Reliant Energy because they're offering a great deal. In this case, this customer had a great deal because they locked in a year ago and they did a 2-year contract. So we got to make sure, hey, you lock in for a long contract with these companies, because last thing you want to do is do it 12 months and then you're searching for a month trying to find another company. So I always recommend lock in minimum 2 years with one that has all these things. So you want to make sure that they have one-to-one generation. So that's true net metering. They're going to give you every kilowatt you provide, they're going to give you a kilowatt. You'll see companies that say we don't do that. Like Green Mountain Energy was a big one for solar, and they changed everything. So for every kilowatt you provide, so we'll call it $1 essentially. Every kilowatt that you get, you basically give them $1, and in return they'll give you $1. Or with the Green Mountain Energy, like what they just changed to, you give them $1, they're going to give you back 60 cents. That'll make sense. So we got to make sure that they have one-to-one generation. So that's the biggest thing you want to look for when searching for your light company. Rollover credit, another big thing. Like in this case, he had a negative balance prior and then rolled back over. So you want to make sure that they have rollover credits, because if not, that $90 goes away and they're starting fresh every single month, which kind of defeats the whole net metering process. Your service fee. Most companies, I would say probably 9 times out of 10 right now, they're going to have a service fee, a customer charge, a connection fee, whatever that fee is going to be. And it's typically going to be anywhere from $9 to $20 a month. Most companies are that you'll see, Rhythm, Reliance, Chariot, MP2, Octopus, those are all going to have a $9 charge. So it's a base fee of $9 plus it. So if they produce 1,500 kilowatts and they consume 1,500 kilowatts, well, it will even out. All they owe is that connection fee. Or if they have a little more, it pays it off. So you want to make sure that, like I said, you understand those fees in there. So that way you make sure that the customer understands that, hey, they're probably going to have a bill. A good way to offset that, instead of going 100%, go to 105%, 110%, just to cover those fees for that customer. We kind of already went through contract term. Like I said, you want to lock in as long as you can, primarily, just to benefit the customer the most. And changes, like I said, these contracts change every single month. We got to stay on top of this. It's not only just for your knowledge, but for benefiting your homeowner. You do not want a homeowner to sign up with Reliant, realize, hey, they're not offering it this month, and now I got to cancel to go with someone else. To cancel with the company, they got to pay $200. So now you're going to pay that $200 because you misled them, or they're going to pay it and be really upset with you. So adapt every single month. Look out what they're doing. I mean, even on a free time, kind of to see who's offering what, just to stay on top of it. But this should pretty much give you a good understanding of how to read the light bill, break down the light bill, get your annual consumption, and what to expect and inspect for your customers. So thank you. Once again, my name is Marcus Lascano. Glad to have helped you with this, and let's keep going.